Hello and welcome to my updated Khajiiti Embassy. So I have built this, obviously I have a video of the previous build on this, and I was never quite satisfied with the, I guess, floor plan that I had created. Obviously the biggest issue being that there are builds already here. There's the little pod houses, um, and thus trees with tree foliage, um, in this area. So building here necessitated going above those, but not too far above those. Um, and that just didn't leave much space because, of course, you run into the tree canopy above you. So I recently came by a bunch of extra crafting materials. I've been on a mission with my crafting, and the result of that insane mission is I have just gathered a whole lot of mundane runes and heartwood and other things, and I thought, well, now I've got all the supplies, why don't I try rebuilding this? So I did. So let's go take a tour through it. Um, the stairs up are basically the same. I did think I might replace some of these rocks with the new large boulders from High Isle, but those boulders just didn't cover enough ground to make it worthwhile. So I did use some here. There's a couple back here, but I was not able to replace as much as I'd hoped. But such as it is. So the majority of our build is still taken up with this insane climb up this rock cliff. So coming up here, here's the first big change. Previously, I had the other little waterfall and pool here, all surrounded by rocks and foliage and such, and I have switched it out. So now I have this beautiful Kinnerus statue in its full glory of display with the birds and the swirlies and the water splashing. And I love it. I love these statues. They're so pretty. It's like, yes, give us more of these crazy statues that do all sorts of weird things, because I love it. Um, yeah. So that has taken place that. And coming in here, this is still our sand garden. Or as my friend pointed out, a giant litter box with cats. Yeah. But no, the Khajiit do these beautiful sand gardens. I just wish they would let us put in like properly straight raked sand and just have the swirls. It would be nice if we could do that and then just put the swirls in rather than it all being swirls. So let's head into the main embassy. So this is the main part of the embassy building. And we have our entertainment area here for more casual meetings. And of course, we gotta have the fish tank for the kitty cats, right? Watching the fish tank. One on either side. So when the meetings are very boring, they have something to stare at. We've got our kitchen. And yes, I made some of these beautiful windows. I love these windows. And I finally had enough of the crafting material needed for them to make some more. Yay! They're so pretty. They're just so pretty. So here's our kitchen. We are right next to a wood elf village, so I figured they probably get most of their food from there or straight from from Eldenroot, since we still have that portal in the snug pod. But we are right off of Cormont, so probably get their food from the nearby village, but obviously they need their own spices, and there's not a whole lot in the way of grains and fruits and veggies, so they have to import those from further away. But still, I didn't bother with the fridge. Should have had an ice box or something, but yeah. They just get fresh food every day, right? Here's their official meeting hall. Also, their official dining hall. All formal and beautiful. Of course, I have to have a drinks cabinet. Stunning views of the nearby jungle forest. We won't talk about how offensive the wood elves would find it to have a plants trapped in a glass case like that. Is that harming the plants in wood elf lore? I'm not sure. So, up here we have the ambassador's private quarters. Her own little lounge seating area with a merchant and a banker. I just put them here because it kind of makes it look more like there's petitioners waiting. Here's her private bedroom. And of course, well, the ensuite. Sink. Vanity. Does that look like a outdoor scene in that mirror? Not entirely sure what that's supposed to be reflecting. Of course, bath. Hidden back here, the toilet. Now, since this embassy is in Grahtwood, it's only appropriate that they should have a place to host their wood elf visitors and dignitaries. However, being as this is the Khajiiti and High Elves creating these spaces, it's not as appropriate as one might imagine. More like what a Khajiiti ambassador might think a wood elf would want in their home. So, still lovely guest chambers. Lots of foliage and plants. That'll make them feel right at home, right? I kind of like the whole misunderstanding of it. It's just like how the High Elves built the Khajiiti an embassy that looks nothing like what the Khajiiti would build. It tickles me because it sounds like a very High Elf thing to do. So this is the main part of the embassy, but we also have the guest quarters. And these quarters especially are for the High Elf visitors, but also for any Khajiiti visitors. Take our nice little walk through our garden here. The beautiful fountain. And here's our visitor quarters. This is a 2-bedroom and 1 bath and 1 very long corridor. Lots of stairs as we finagle the spaces involved working around the existing structures. So it's a little awkward, but I actually think it kind of works in a weird way. So, little private sitting area here. The beautiful view. kitty cat enjoys the view too. And here is the main bedroom for it. This one has its own fountain. And I was smart and stuck a roof on it. Because if you don't put a roof on these, it rains right through the glass. Tell me how that works. Developers, how exactly does that work? So, back through here, we'll visit the other bedroom. Canerthy's wind bells on display here. So here is the other bedroom. And I have one of the new pretty shiny trees? I guess it calls it a tree. Stone Lord Dogwood Potted Trees. And that is from High Isle. And that's actually from the crafting writs. So I finally had enough to get the recipe, but I only had enough of the materials, the crafting materials, to make one. So I will need to get more materials so I can make more of them, because they're so pretty. So yes, just a nice little bedroom to enjoy. And of course, the bathroom. So we have a nice little vanity, sink, throne, and the utterly ridiculous bath. Because of course I had to build one. It's just too dramatic. Had to do it. Well, I hope you enjoyed my new build in all of its ridiculous craziness. I had quite a lot of fun making this one, even if it did end up still a little disjointed and odd. It was fun, and I think it ended up being quite an interesting build. I just really wish they gave us another 100 slots in this one. If this was 700 instead of 600, I could do so much more. I could really outfit the inside and make it pretty, but for now, I guess it'll do. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.